25 pearl oyster, and then we'll do any swaps or anything at the end. Would that be okay with you? So oyster number 1, good luck. Light pop there. And in your first oyster, there's no pearls on that side. One and two. You are twinning with your first oyster. A little bit of a muckier one there. So twinning with brighter yellows here. So let me hold them up for you. So they do look like they're sunshine yellows. So twin number 1, you've got slightly lighter and brighter areas there. And then pearl number 2, again, very similar in size. They're quite larger pearls and lighter and brighter areas there as well. So twinning 2 tonal yellows. Moving on to oyster number 2. Light pop there. And there's your mother of pearl. And you are twinning with TARDIS blue pearls. Now visually these do look like they're slightly different sizes, but they do look like they are the same colour. So TARDIS blue number 1, this one here is visually the largest of the two. He does look like he's got a couple of little imperfections there. Again, we can swap them at the end for you if you're not happy with that. This one is pearl number 2, so this one looks visually just slightly smaller, but there's definitely not a lot in it. And then with your last oyster, now there is a little bit of flesh on this side, but you can see that there's no pearls there at all. I'm just going to move this out of the way. It's just a piece of shell that came off there. And I can see a pearl right at the top. So if we squidge him out and then have a squidge in here as well. And there's no more in that one. So you've got a darker silver bells. So twinning 2 tonal yellows, twinning TARDIS blues, and a silver bells. I hope you're happy with those. If I run them through the board, yellow number 1 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8, he's an 8.5. Yellow number 2 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8. He's an 8.5 as well, so they're the same size there. Blue, the visually larger of the two, is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8. He's an 8.5. And blue number 2 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5. He's an 8. So they are measuring different sizes. The silver bells is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6. He is a 6.5. So I'll leave those in the sand and then we'll open up the 25 pearl oyster. And if there's any you'd like to swap or anything like that, we'll do it all at the end if that's okay. With the 25 pearl oyster, would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells there? So in here, get him open and let's go back down again. Sorry about that then. So with these shells, would you like to keep or would you like to donate them? Donate, Shannon. Okay, good luck, my lovely. Double pop there. Just moving this piece of shell out the way. So there's your mother of pearl. You can see that there's no pearls on that side. Oh, let's have a squidge in here. Okay, so there's no more in that one, but let me just count these up first before I move that to the side. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 and 25. Okay, let's dry these up for you. Okay, so as always, Shannon, I'm going to pop, oh, this one over here. I'm going to go through, put the darker pearls to the top, lighter pearls at the bottom, and then are you happy for me to measure the largest and smallest, or would you like me to measure them all? If you would like me to measure them all, that's absolutely fine, but just let me know so I can obviously make sure I do it. So darker pearls first. Your first one is a darker gunmetal grey. He does look like he's got a tiny little imperfection there, but dark gunmetal grey to start. You then have got a dark silver chocolate. So this one I think is a base silver with a slight chocolatey overtone. You've then got another silver. So this is a silver bells. And then a slightly brighter silver bells there. Another darker silver chocolate. More chocolates in this one than the one from before. And then another silver bells. Again with the silver bells, so there's quite a few silvers in these ones. And then a dark chocolate, again with a slightly silver overtone. Now this one does look like he's got a slightly misshapen, so he's not fully rounded. He does sort of go slightly longer. I've missed a pearl on the tray. So I'm just going to put these in my hand. So a pearl on the tray, so that's a piece of shell down there. That's a piece of shell there. Just a piece of shell. If there was a pearl on there, it would have rolled around. So I don't believe that there's one there. Okay. Right, let's carry on with these ones. So we've got one more dark one. Let's just get this refocused. Okay, so you've then got another silver bells. Then we've got this silvery bronze, so silver there, and then it's almost like a golden bronze though, sort of in between a gold and a bronze two-tonal pearl there. You then have got, oh, it's hard to know which way to go this time. So we're going to go a lighter pastel gold. A silver purple. So this one is a silver with a purple overtone. You've then got this one. Now I don't know what colour to call this one. It's like a silver blue. If you can see, it's close to an icy blue and a smurf blue. I'm going to say it's more closer to a smurf blue, but he's got that silver overtone to him. So he's not like the smurf blues we saw earlier. He's, like I say, he's like a silver smurf blue. Can you see what I mean? Just because of that gorgeous overtone to him. And then a silver sea green as well. So those three, silver purple, silver blue, and a silver sea green. So those three together are gorgeous. If you just zoom in there, look at those. And then, so the rest of them are very, very pastelesque. So this one then is a pastel apple green. So hopefully you can see that green tone coming through. So very light pastel apple green. You then have got a cream, which hopefully then you can see the green coming through. So cream, lighter autumn peach, and then another autumn peach. Slightly pinky cream pink, so it's like a cream with a pink overtone. You've then got a baby pink. Again, it's quite hard to see, but that one is more of a baby pink. A blush pink here, and then another blush pink. In fact, I think those two should be just switched around slightly, but they're very, very similar blush pinks. You've then got a lighter coral, a slightly brighter coral, and then a slightly brighter coral again. So the bottom two rows are similar in shades. It's sort of going through the colour spectrum, just sort of moving up a notch in shade each time. Shannon, what do you think to these? If you're happy with all of these, then they are yours. If you're not happy, I can swap them for colours of your choice. Now, if I go through the largest and smallest, smallest, we're going to try that silver purple. He's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6. He's a 6.5. The silver blue is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6. He's a 6.5. And the one on the end is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, he's a 6.5. So smallest is a 6.5. Largest, we're going to try the silver sea green. He's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. Silver bells at the top is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. And we'll measure the coral down here as well. He's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. So smallest is a 6.5, largest is a 7.5. And then you've got the two sets of twins and the pearl on his own as well. So I'll pop those at the very bottom here. What do you think to all of these? If you're happy, then that's perfect. And as you know, if you're not happy, I can swap them for colours of your choice. So swap the two silver bells on the second row, so these two here, for two lighter purple colours. Now I've only got sort of silver purples or Cadbury purples at the moment. So if I go for two, so that's a grape purple, and what colour don't you have possibly like this, a silver grape purple. What would you think to those two purples there? They're very similar, but they are different colours. You'd like to have the yellow twins, so the two-tonal yellow twins on stud earrings. That's absolutely fine. So the invoice for that will get sent across for you tomorrow. It will go to the email address that's on the order form. Love the purples, brilliant. Let me just take the silvers away. What do you think to the rest of the colours here? Love them, brilliant. Okay, so the rest of them are